Yo, what is up YouTube? It is your boy. Welcome back to another Apex video. Now today, I'm gonna go over everything that I've learned in the past few weeks using Maggie, the things that have gone wrong, the things that have gone well. There's gonna be roughly about 6 tips here in combination of using her passive, her ultimate, and her attack ability. Let's roll it. Now I'm gonna be rocking the audio here at 30, so it's gonna be a little bit lower than my actual voice, so it doesn't seem drowned out. Now, the way I'm going to play it out, this is the first tip of using the wrecking ball in close range fights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a combination of the commentary. I will explain the situation. Sometimes I'll let it play out and then I'll explain it. So here, I know that somebody is down over here. I start to hear a res and I push out. All right, let's roll that back. So here, there's a couple different things I could have done in hindsight. Obviously, it worked out for the best there, but here, I know they're behind here. I could drill this and then just fight it from there. But the thing that you have to realize about the wrecking ball here in this situation is once you get ready to throw the wrecking ball and you trigger it, once that's done, it's going. There's nothing you can do about it. Very similarly with your drill is when you get the drill ready, you can't hold the drill, but you can't retract it. You just have to send it. So here, I treat the ball sometimes like I would a PK shot. Is with a PK, you're not just gonna sit in the open and not move. You're gonna do peek shots, you're gonna slide to a different direction, you're gonna tap strafe and then shoot. So same thing with the wrecking ball here. As I'm throwing it, peek shot, and I cut back. Now, I thought that the ball was gonna send them that way, so that's why I get up on the van here, but it ended up still being okay. So they go left. I see that from the trail of the energy ball. Now, the thing about her in combination with this tip is her passive ability, one of them being that she moves faster with shotguns. So here, you've got to work on your tap strafe and you got to work on your movement. I used to run Newcastle, so that was a big thing for me because I couldn't just put a wall down. Now here, I slide, jump, and tap strafe to the right. He's lost in the sauce, baby. Now, after I get that initial shot off of, I would have did the same thing if I had a PK, but here I've got an Ava, so I just keep moving and strafing because it's pretty much, you know, semi-auto or whatever. Where if I had a PK here, I would have tap strafe off of it the same. I would have slid to the left, shot, tap strafe, jump to the right, shot, you know, made it more of peek shot, peek shot. Here we're still on tip number 1 of using your wrecking ball in close range fights. What you're gonna see is I get caught off guard and let it roll. All right, so this is a combination of arenas and battle royale. Now I get caught off guard. She takes off half of my health before the fight even starts, I believe. Immediately I turn around, I send the ball. It's gonna do a couple things. 1, of course, it's gonna take them off of you. 2, it might stun them. And I guess 3, it will give you a little bit of speed. Now, after I throw this, I slide and get a shot and get 90 off right away. Now, what I want you to recognize about this and the failure that I've actually had a few times from learning this is when you throw the wrecking ball, sometimes they may be farther back. If they're farther back, this isn't something that you can do, you can just slide into because you're just sliding right into their shots. If you do the wrecking ball, you do the initial slide, but you recognize that they are farther away and they have more time to recognize where you're coming from, you need to be sliding and then going into your tap strafes and your jumps and your slides into different directions. Now, I get that initial shot off, I wait for her to jump down, I'm just waiting to get that next shot off. I do a slide into a tap strafe to the right. I think I actually get a no-reg here. Maybe I didn't, but regardless, she's tap strafing as well. She's moving, making it harder to be a good target for me, but I get the down. All right, the last tip that I'm gonna give for the first tip, which is using your wrecking ball in up-close fights. What I believe with Maggie is she's literally the person, it's her job to go in, punch somebody in the face, get some damage, get it down, and then get back to cover. So this is something that I actually do here. It's a 2-on-1 situation. Maybe I didn't have to use the wrecking ball here, but I had it. You get it every 90 seconds. Utilize the crap out of it.
Got a hit. I'm going.
All right, so immediately, as soon as I get it down, I get a lot of damage. I go right back to cover. Fortunately, my buddy Ccoos can lock it down. He runs Watson, so that makes it a little bit better, where I can infiltrate, get the down, come right back and heal up. Tip number 2 is going to be getting shots and then anticipating to use your drill. So here, I get a lot of shots, and immediately I have that drill ready to go, because as soon as you crack them with shield, you might get it down just like this. Very simple tip, but it's one you're going to use often. Now this next tip, which is tip number 3, about anticipating or pre-firing your drill before you shoot. Even though that's a little bit similar to this, it's in reverse order, so I feel like it should be a different tip. Now, what you're gonna recognize is this Vantage is in the open. She's fighting in the open. She's sniping. I pre-drill that rock. That's the only cover that she has to get to. So I know when she goes there, she's gonna start taking damage. It's the only option she really had other than jumping down and giving me the high ground. If Ed Boy could hit his PK shots, we could have got her down a little bit sooner. All right, here it's still in the same realm, I believe, of tip number 3, where here my buddy Ccoos is getting some shots here. I know this guy, I think it's a Pathfinder. He can't come this way. He can't stay there. The only direction that he can go is here, anticipating where they're going to go. Because if you just drill, like I was, you'll be like, oh, this drill's useless. No, you're useless if you're not using it correctly. So let this play out. Have your teammates, hey, if you're running Mad Maggie, if you get shots on somebody, please let me know where they're at, because we might be able to get an easy down and push out. Easy down. Now, 2v1 here. This is just a little extra tip here. It's a 2v1. I could have been getting shots off already if I wasn't using my Wrecking Ball, but I was getting Wrecking Ball happy. I do get the down, but what happens if a third party's coming and you just went with the 2-on-1 and used your ultimate? Dumb. We got to be able to use that to use the Wrecking Ball in up close fights. We've got to be able to use that to maybe get out of there. So that's an adjustment that needs to be made on my part. All right, here we are in tip number 4, using your tack or giving your drill to your teammates. All right, same critique I'm going to give myself in here. Hindsight, I didn't know how many there were, but hindsight, there's one person. Probably don't need to use my abilities as a first resort, because we can do that 2-on-1, and then I can use my drill and my ultimates. Now, in my mind, I can't shoot around the corner, I can't shoot through walls, but my drill can, and so it's the fastest thing that I can provide to my buddy Ccoos for cover. And that's the reason that I did that first. And then I came around the corner waiting for him to come around the corner, but Coos had a lot of shots on him, and I got the kill with 24 damage, Coos. Let's go. All right, so here we're still in tip number 4. There's a grenade on this Newcastle's mobile shield, so I can't really go in there. All right, so thankfully that Newcastle can't hit a shot for his life when I'm literally right in front of him. But so here, I'm waiting for this grenade to go off. This is good. I can't do nothing about that. I probably don't need to throw this thermite. There's really no reason for that. I can't push up through it. It would have been better in my mind maybe just to drill here and then go up and fight around it. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe it worked out for the better, but I'm thinking that's an adjustment I could make. Giving him the drill when I couldn't be there initially, I probably could have did that a little bit sooner too, where I drill as the grenade's going off, and then as soon as the grenade is off, then I go. All right, so this is tip number 5, using your drill to provide you cover, whether it's you're getting a res off, you need to put a battery in, there's a third party coming in, you need to have some sort of anti-third party mechanism. So here I do use my ultimate to provide me some speed and get over to my buddy because I see he's 1 HP, and let this play out a little bit. All right, so here, what I usually would do right away is I would tack this corner before I start the res. But my buddy's gas at that moment in time was still going off. So I was like, okay, he's got the gold revive shield, or I do. That'll give him some health. Again, I'm doing a mixture of arenas and BR. As soon as I res, they hear it. You know they're going to push. So have your shotgun ready. I get a shot. Boom. Tack for cover. It's going to give me time to put a bat in, and then we can re-engage. A couple side notes. If you're on a wall, if you're at the top of a stairwell, a bottom of a stairwell, if you're at the top of the stairwell, you can drill downwards. If you're around a corner, you can tack the edge, and then you can play around that edge. You can get very creative with this at any point in time to defend third parties, get reses off, and of course the bat like you saw there. And so here we're going into tip number 6, where you use her passive of being able to see people through walls when you hit them, tack them, shoot them, whatever it might be of damage. 6. He's going right. He's going right. I have wall hacks. Got a hit. Oh, we're better. All right, so we were doing duo trios there, no fill. And here, I know my buddy is fighting with this guy. A little bit of a combination of providing your drill to your teammate or your tack to play around. And here, I immediately see, oh, he's going around the corner. You probably hear me say at what point, oh, I have wall hacks. It's basically, it's a broken mechanic. It's great. Get some decent PK shots off. A 9, miss. Got to be better. Now here, still using her passive, anticipating their moves with getting shots off and her passive. You do an arc start because immediately I know somebody's going to push, and it helps with those third part or those duo trio situations. He gets it down, and then immediately I know exactly where he's at. Broken, beautiful passive. We take that team out. But here, I'm getting a res off and let it play out.
Hold 2. One on me.
I'm coming.
28.
All right, so after I get the res off, I know my buddy's low. There's maybe one other guy left or something like that. So I use my ultimate to get over to him.
Hold 2. One on me.
I'm coming.
Gets me that extra speed. I'm using my passive to anticipate where they're gonna go. I know he's gonna go right. I got a stun off. It's a beautiful combination of all the abilities. They really work well together. Now, I talked about early in the video of using her speed as an advantage with her other passive of being able to move faster with shotguns. I'm not just sliding here. I know exactly where it is because of the passive. So after I do this slide, I'm going to tap strafe out of my slide. He's lost in the sauce. He's still shooting over here, man. And this is all because of every ability that I was using from my ultimate, my passive of knowing where they are after damage, my passive of the speed with the shotgun, and then working on my movement, of course, hitting my shots while I'm moving. Guys, from the pain and the struggle of learning Mad Maggie, I hope that some of these lessons helped you out with maybe something that you weren't aware of. If there's something that you're aware of that I'm not, we're all still learning. Put some comments down below. And guys, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next Apex video.